In this video, I'm going to change a light fixture in my hallway, entry hallway, because the fluorescent ones that were put in by the contractor when the house was built, well, they're just not cutting it anymore. They look kind of hideous, so we're going to get something a little more modern. Let's check it out. So I have these pretty hideous lights in my stair hallway, and how hideous? Well, first of all, they're not even the same color, but these were put in when the house was built. And the contractor put these in. They're energy efficient, they're fluorescent. But watch this. When you turn them on, they take forever to come on. Hideous. And we're going to do something about that. I'll show you what I'm going to put in. I think the ones I'm going to put in here are going to look a lot better when I'm done. So these are the ones I'm going to replace. They come with a vintage style. It's going to be an incandescent bulb. I'll run those until they burn out and replace them with LEDs. But we're going to put these up and see how they look. We'll open the box here. What's this? Instruction manuals? We don't need no stupid instruction manuals. What could possibly go wrong? We have 2 wires and a ground. Come on, it's not rocket science. Inside the box we have the light fixture, the glass, and this is going to be a vintage incandescent bulb. 60 watts. Attaching this should be relatively easy. First we just have to take out the old lights first. Now this will be easy for this one because I can reach it. Those ones, well, that's going to be a little more of a challenge because, well, one's up about 10 feet in the air and the other one's up about 18 feet in the air. So, you know, we're going to have a bit more of a challenge for those. But let's start with the one that I can reach. One of the things that makes these lights so ugly is, well, you can see the inside of the fixture. You can see the ballast in the bottom, plus any dirt and dust that collects in there, well, it just shows up. This is what's inside the fixture. Right inside here, it's a PL13 bulb and a magnetic ballast. That's all that's in these things. So I have to detach it from the wall, and then we'll mount the mounting plate and mount the new light. This is going to be fun because it's dark. I don't have any lights in here. If I turn off the power, if I turn off these lights, I'm not going to be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to have to do this live. Isn't this getting fun? This is where my Loft-Tech portable floodlight will come in handy. I can turn off the power and I can still see what I'm doing. So we'll do this under the battery powered light. I have 4 cats here that are watching me now. So what held these old ones on was just a nut that screwed through here. So we're going to loosen this off, and this will actually let the fixture come off from the wall. Then I can change the bracket. So we take off that nut. And there we go. So now I've just got the standard wall box, and I can just change the plate, the bracket that the new one mounts on. So it should be relatively easy to change these lights. Let's proceed with this one. The ground wire was never connected. And to think that that was done by an electrician. I wonder what else he didn't do in this place. So there are the wires I have to connect. Okay, bring the wires through the new mount. Mount bracket goes on just like that, and it is adjustable, so we can adjust the skew of it if it's not quite square. Okay, now I've got this the right way up. We'll level it once more. Screws have to pop through from the back side so that you can adjust the depth of the screws to fit, because this could be mounted on a recessed box, so they give you extra long screws. So that's mounted. Double check our level. Yep, we're level. Now to mount the light. So we'll connect the wires up, black to black and white to white. Again, I've got the switch turned off here for this, but I would recommend, if you're going to do this, turn the breaker off. Although I haven't, I've just turned off the main switch, or turned off the switch on the wall here, because that'll make this dead. If you're not sure, turn off the power at your electrical panel. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to determine the depth of the screws, because these nuts just hold it to the wall. So I have to fit this on and see how far I have to bring these screws out. So we'll stuff the wires into the box. We'll see how far we have to bring these screws through. Okay, that one's through enough. This one's going to come through a bit more, I think. Okay. And we'll just back the screws back just a bit. Of course, it's got a sticker that tells me how many watts I can use on this thing. 60 watts, it says. And of course, the sticker is upside down because I take it they want these lights mounted the other way, but I want them this way. I don't want the light going up. I want the light going down. So we'll mount them this way. Put these screws on. I'll go get the glass. This is going to be fun to screw this on. So it goes up, the flange faces up like that, and then the collar screws on below it. So we're going to put the flange in here first, on top of the collar. We're going to set this in here. Easier said than done. Collar, and then the flange, or then the screw on, and we'll get this thing threaded, and then we'll use the wrench that comes with it to tighten it up. There we go. That gets threaded. And take it up like that, and then we use the special key that comes with it. We'll lock into the little tabs and torque it right up. Torque it up tight, like that. Now we're ready to install the light bulb. Screw in our fancy light. And let's see how it looks. Okay, we'll turn it on. Ah, very nice. I like it already. Even just seeing the first one go here, that has made such a difference. Let's turn off this work light. Much better, much better. Take a look at the how the effect is now. If I zoom the camera back, you can see those other ugly lights that are up there, but that's much better. I love the glass. It's what's called seated glass, and it matches my glass on my kitchen table lights, which are LEDs. These ones are incandescent, but for the amount that these will get used in a hallway, I think we're okay. But here we go, instant on. None of this blinking. So I'm gonna do the other two off camera, because now you guys know how to put one of these fixtures together. So that's how you put up one of these modern fixtures, and I think these incandescent Edison type bulbs they really add a lot of character. And I'm looking forward to getting the other two installed. So I'm just going to ground this one, which I've done on the other ones. So we're just going to twist the ground wire around the ground junction. The reason I'm reshooting this now, it's now the next day. And rather than fight with the lights in the dark, I waited till the daytime to put the other ones up. But I'm going to show you a trick that I've learned on this one. Because one of the lights was very high up on the wall and I had to use a long ladder to get to it. And I only had one free hand. Putting this lens assembly together with one hand is not an easy task. So I had to come up with a way to do it. Now if you're where you can reach it, that's not a problem. But when you only have one hand and you're hanging onto the ladder with the other, because I'll show you in a second where I was working. But I'm going to show you how to come up with a technique to do this. So I'll show you what I did to put this lens together, being a little bit ingenious. So all you need to do this is the collar assembly and the key and some black tape, or any type of tape. We're going to take the two pieces and we're going to tape them. Actually, we're going to take the three pieces and we're going to tape them together. This will hold the assembly in place so that you can attach it in one move. So we put the key into the two notches here, like that, and we'll just wind some tape around here. We don't need to tape it really well, just well enough to hold it, but we need a way of getting the tape out after the fact. So we'll just take some tape, we'll wrap it around here just enough to hold it in place, and we'll wind it down here, and we'll leave ourselves a tail. We don't want to get caught up, so I want to make sure that it's not going to tangle on anything. And then I'm just going to leave myself a bit of a tail here, and we'll spin the tail together so that it's not going to stick on anything, like that. So now we have a unit that is now taped together, and when I get this thing screwed in, I'll be able to just unwind the tape and take the key out. So let's go do it. Okay, so when you only have one hand to work with, for example, if you're standing on top of a tall ladder, you're going to put the lens assembly together, right? You climb up your ladder, and then with one hand you can just put the unit on like that. Tighten it in place, and then you can just unwind your tape that you put around there. Again, using one hand. You're done. And then put your light bulb in. And you're done. I'll show you where I had to use this. Again, if you've got two hands and you can hold the jar in place and screw the assembly together, but when you're working up on a ladder, well, I had the ladder leaning up against the wall and I only could use one hand because of the narrowness of the hull. The ladder didn't have the proper angle to allow me to lean it into the ladder. I was basically hanging onto the top rung while I put that fixture together with one hand, and I had to come up with a way of being able to attach the lens assembly on it using only one hand. Now these are tricks that electricians know, and that's why they charge you the big bucks for doing things. So now you know what the electricians, what some of their tricks of their trade. Just use a little bit of tape to hold things together temporarily, but it's the way that you wrap it up, because you, of course, once you're inside that lens assembly, you got to be able to get that tape off. So you just wrap it loosely, leave yourself a tail that you can just pull, and it will unravel and remove the key from the fixture. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you real soon.